Place them in leather bra. Thing with the ass. Oil. $9. $9. $9. We're not doing that today. We're not doing the gun show today. Women all over the internet losing their mind. Or not. If you were with me the other day, then you would have seen that I did a video about the legendary drive in the Helix, which is actually, it's a model of the Carvin legacy drive Steve Vai uses. And one of the things that I forgot to say was that it's actually a preamp. It's not necessarily, you know, a pedal, so it's a preamp. And you can, if you wanted to, you can use it without an amp. And a lot of people have commented and reached out and asked, I can't get it to sound quite right with a Marshall, I can't get it to sound quite right with this. The reason for that is it's a very, very powerful block. It does take up quite a lot of DSP as well. It never quite sounds right through a distorted amp, because what you're getting is you're getting distortion upon distortion, if you like, or overdrive upon overdrive, however you want to fucking term it. I don't care. But this is how I have laid it out for another patch for you to download. It's very simple, very straightforward. It's 4 snapshots, and there's no amp. There is no amp in there. Now, bear in mind as well, this is kind of set up for me. It's set up for this Fender Strat. It's set up then to go from this system with these headphones into Line 6 2x12 power cab, and for me to go into the studio with the band and for it to kind of cut through. So it might sound a little bit harsh, but once you put it in a mix, either with a backing track or you put it in a live band situation, everything will be tip top. All right. So let's take a look at the first block. So there is a deluxe comp at the beginning there. Doesn't necessarily have to be there. Again, like I've said, with most of the patches, you can take it out. It doesn't have to be there. The pedal kind of does its own thing. I just think it just helps a little bit with a dynamics. After that is the legendary drive. We're running 4 snapshots with different levels of drive. And this EQ will change in certain parameters as the snapshots progress. Then I've got an EQ. Again, you could get everything that you wanted within the snapshots just out of this and save yourself a block. I've just done it for ease of use for me, because I'm kind of used to just using that calligraphic. Then there's the speaker, or the cab, which is the 4x12 double XL, like I like all of my ladies. I don't really. If you'd met my wife, she's definitely not a double XL. If that's what you're into, that's what you're into. I ain't judging you. After that is a dual delay. After that is the glitz. And again, on the end, just for me, because it's up to me and it's up to you what you do, is the tile. So let's begin. We will run all this just looking at the legendary drive and the settings. So here is what is technically a crunch patch. You would think that there was an amp there. So snapshot 2, if we watch the drive, kind of shoots up then to 6.8, and the delay, I think the delay stays exactly the same. There's not a lot of delay there. kind of a middle of the road gainy lead extravaganza. Then we got one called More Drive, which basically just throws the drive up right on the peak of, you know, your shit blowing up. Little bit slightly altered EQ with the mids and the treble as well. I think it sounds fucking awesome. And then your fifth snapshot basically just gives you a shitload more delay, you know, for all that delay goodness. You get loads of sustain out of that as well. So realistically, what you could do, and because it's your patch now, is kind of rename them a little bit. I'd probably be tempted to change the more delay to, you know, solo boost or whatever, because that's where the delay mix kind of comes up. And I have been using that as a solo boost, because we all like to jump across the rest of the band when we get to that bit and put the fans on and let our hair blow and rip our t-shirts off and maybe let our nuts dangle out the side of our ripped jeans. Nobody wants to see that. No one at all. So there's your patch. Okay, that's the first kind of look at it as what is basically it's a preamp. You don't necessarily have to have an amp with it. You can do whatever you want. I mean, you could, if you wanted, then come into the cab and get even more, you know, space-inducing sexy toneness. By using a dual cab, maybe you can alter the routing and pull stuff down out the way. You've got plenty more room downstairs to throw a ton more effects on and whatever, and, you know, chop and change some stuff, and then come back and let me know what exactly that you did. Just quickly before we go, this is the same patch kind of, but with an amp. Okay, so I've got the 2204 mod, which is the Marshall JCM 800. Great amp. Don't think it works well with the Legendary Drive because I think there's just too much going on. It's a little bit quieter, this patch as well. I mean, it's okay. I'd probably use it to record. I wouldn't use it live, I don't think, because, you know, the actual preamp one that we've just made. I just think that sounds a million times better. But again, it's down to me, personal choice. My fucking channel, I'll do whatever I want. You're not my real dad. Stop telling me what to do. All right, as always, thanks for watching. Stick a finger in the subscribe button and, you know, massage the notification bell and come back in a couple of days for a whole shit ton more. And I promise that after today, there'll be no more of the gun show for the 1% of ladies that are watching the channel. Fucking hell, I nearly put a hip out then.